Hey guys, I'm PM Asher, and we're here today with the Dungeon Defenders Devstream. Today we have two special guests on today. The first is Stephen Collins.
Me and me.
Stephen Collins. You're playing both of them?
And then Stephen Collins again.
Oh man, so Stephen Collins, lead level designer. Stephen Collins, what's the second one's title?
Leader. Even more leader level
The
designer.
leadest.
The leadest level designer. But then next will be
every level.
And then after those two guests come
right.
on, so that's the first 15 minutes and the second 15 minutes. Then we have Elliot Cannon, who's our new creative director. We're going to introduce you guys to him and talk about the rest of the year in the video that you guys probably saw earlier this week. So, guys, if you haven't watched before, this is your first dev stream. We have a couple of things to take care of. Right. So we do dev streams every other week now, and this is so we can really show you some really cool stuff. So every time we have dev streams, we're going to be showing you new stuff. Even though we put out a video of some cool things on Tuesday, there's even more stuff we're going to show you today.
more stuff.
Hint, hint.
Right.
Lots of it. So I think you guys will be really excited to see it. In addition to that, every 30 minutes today, Josh is going to be giving away, he's our lovely community manager, Josh Isom. He's going to be giving away a code for 500 gems, and you just have to type hashtag DD2. So do it right now to annoy Josh. And don't do it every 15 minutes, only do it every 30 minutes. Actually, I believe you only have to do it once.
Yes.
When you're in the stream if you want a chance to win, and then if you're on, you can still win. You also have to be following the channel, though, in order to win. We had someone on the last stream who was not following the channel, and because of that,
Tisk.
I know, they could have won 500 gems. Oh, see, there we go. Everyone's doing it.
500 gems.
All right, so first we're going to talk to Stephen about the Dragonfall Carnival.
Dragonfall Carnival.
Which is going to be really exciting, and then after we're going to... Oh, man, blame Phil. What did I do?
Phil's done it.
Then after we're going to talk with Elliot about the rest of 2016.
Yep.
So let's begin. So this is our first big reveal for the stream. Mm-hmm. Are you guys ready?
Reveal number 1.
Ooh. Should we number them all?
Oh, no, we shouldn't number all.
All right, so our next patch is the Dragonfall Carnival, and it is coming out on February 9th.
It's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks away. So we're currently working on finishing it up right now. In 2 weeks dev stream, we're going to basically be doing the full reveal right before it comes out, and we're going to show you everything. We're going to show you a lot today.
A lot of it, but not all of it.
So with that, I'm going to pass you off to Steven. So what else? There's one other big thing that we've already told him that's going to be in this patch.
The Heroes Marketplace.
Yes, exactly. Got it. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding. Winner. Heroes Marketplace.
Right. So you guys have already seen the Heroes Marketplace. If you haven't, you can check out our last dev stream that everyone voted on as an influence vote.
Right.
Last year during our influence week. It was the number 2 voted thing. It's finally making it into the game.
Yeah.
A Dragonfall Juggalo hero class. There's
Not
one
quite.
costume.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay, so there's going to be the Heroes Marketplace Hub, and from there you're going to be able to go into the Dragonfall Carnival.
Right.
Steve's going to talk about that later, but for now, let's cue the video.
The video. So, this is the Dragonfall Carnival map, or just sort of sneak peek at the Dragonfall Carnival map. As you can see, it's carnival themed. There's rides and food stalls and all the things that you expect in a carnival, and you got the roller coasters going around.
Crazy roller coaster in the background.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
So all kinds of fun stuff to do on this map. It's gonna have a little bit of extra things in it rather than the regular play style.
So what was like the inception behind this map? Because normally we make maps to fit in the story or those kind of things. This one's kind of different.
So the Dragonfall Carnival has shown up to Etheria, but this time it's being taken over by our lovely little goblins and enemies. So enemies have taken over the carnival and starting to run it, and they're trying to lure you into the carnival and trap you to kill you. As you saw, there was like a fake crystal cart that they've set up to try to lure you in.
And our heroes, of course, are like, we must defend this cardboard crystal.
You gotta defend the cardboard crystal, and they know that, so they've tricked you into coming here. So they're going to try to take it over, get you in there, and take you out.
And so now this, because the inception was fun for this map. With this map, we really like. We just want people to have as much fun as possible. It's a carnival. There's going to be carnival-y things. How can we have fun?
We've been talking a lot about, we put out challenges and the Harbinger fight, super challenging and all these things, and we're like, well, let's do something a little bit different in the other direction where it's talking about more about the fun. Where, what can you do that's fun in the game? So
Yeah.
That was sort of the big focus for this map as well.
So I think there's a few interesting things on this map. So one of them that people are going to be really excited about in terms of how enemies spawn is the
Jester box.
Yes,
Jester
get them all
boxes.
right.
Jester boxes are going to spawn on this map, and there will be some crazy, wacky things coming out of them. And I'm not sure if we're, displaying all the wacky things that are coming out. So it'll be interesting to see how people react to the things that come out of those.
So basically, as part of it's actually really interesting developing this map. It's the first map we developed with Elliot as the new creative director, and he was really pushing which things in the map do people love the most, and how can that be made more fun?
Right.
And one of the things that kind of evolved from that are these jester boxes.
Right.
That just when they appear in different places in the map.
They show up. And you need to sort of take a look and see what's coming out of them, react to that, and then move on to the next wave. There'll be another one showing up.
Yeah,
maybe multiple.
So in some way, it's almost like they're like portable lanes that will just appear.
It'll appear, and you'll have to go out and deal with it.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really fun. There's also some other really cool things on the map that are unique. So the first one is the roller coaster.
The roller coaster. So when we did the first initial version of this map, I put a roller coaster in one of the sides, and it was sort of off to the side, and people had fun, going around the roller coaster, and then we're like, this is really fun. This is like the coolest thing of the map. So we decided to take what was sort of a small section of the map and wrap it all the way around the map. So you get on this roller coaster, you ride it all the way around, killing enemies as you're going around. So yeah, it's pretty fun to ride on.
Yeah, so you can see the tracks here. We're going to show you the roller coaster on the next Devstream. It's really, really cool. But everyone assumes oh, it's so much fun getting on this roller coaster. So a lot of the map kind of evolved around that.
Right.
So that was really fun.
And so that sort of fun element, and we're taking that and taking it a step further. So.
Mm-hmm. So some of the other things that were in this map, I believe, the water gun trap.
As you can see, the water gun. You have your carnival games like a strength test, a strongman game, and a water gun. As you can see, the water gun, we're probably just gonna use it and drench enemies all over the place. And then one of our people called it a high striker, but I call it a strongman game, where you hit the thing and it goes up.
Yeah, and it stuns people around you.
Yeah, we'll show that off later, but that's one of the fun parts too.
Is that officially called a high striker?
That's what they said. They called it a high striker, but I call it a strength test is what I called it. But.
Yeah, and then we also have, you can see just lots of decorations.
Yeah.
So food stalls. Some of the comments asked if these food stalls have food in them, and they do.
They do have food in them.
So yeah, so the map's going to be really cool. It's a lot of fun. Now, with this event, it's kind of a big grand experiment. So it is going to be something that comes and goes back, and it'll probably evolve each time it comes and goes back. And one of the things that we're experimenting on this map with is called normalized gameplay.
Right.
So you want to explain that to
everybody? Since it's sort of a limited time event, we wanted everybody to sort of be able to jump in and play together when it shows up. So normalized play, you'll select this option, jump in, and anybody who jumps in there will all have the same level. They'll have different gear sets required for that area, so you'll be able to play with everybody at the same time, and not have to worry about, you be this build, you have this gear, and it'll all be there for you while you play. So jumping in all at the same time.
And there's a couple of really exciting things about normalized gameplay. So one, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but there's prizes for playing this. It's Carnival, of course. There's prizes.
Yeah.
So there are prizes, and we wanted everyone to be able to, if I'm have 4 level 50s and I'm in Nightmare 4, but you're only in Nightmare 1, or you're before that, we wanted you to be able to play with that person. So
or somebody's just started. And let's say you get a friend, he's like, oh, come on and play.
If you get a friend,
we all jump in the same map together and not worry about too much of the problems.
So you can do that. So then also with the normalized gameplay, you can pick a build that you want to play as when you play the map. Now it also has just the regular gameplay modes for this map too.
Right.
So if you want to play on Nightmare 1 through Nightmare 4, any other difficulty with your actual characters, you can still do that. But this is just kind of an added option if you want to play with friends.
Right.
So when you play normalized gameplay, you're not going to find loot. You're not going to find some of the other stuff that you would from playing the map, but you do get to play with everyone in order to win the prizes after it. So now, how do you get to this map?
So the way you get into this map, as we said, where the Heroes Marketplace is going to come with this, and there's going to be a section of the Heroes Marketplace that the Carnival's sort of taken over.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a section there where a guy will say, "Oh, come on in, you can come to the Carnival map," and he'll give you an option either to pay with an admission pass or you can sneak in. So once you pay, you use your admission pass. You'll go in, play the map. You'll select your difficulty, obviously, and then you can play. Or, like I said, you could sneak in. You won't have a mission pass before the end of the map, though.
So this is kind of similar to some things like Valve and other companies have done. Basically, you can play them. Everyone who has the game can play the map. Obviously, there's a prize wheel at the end of the map.
Yep.
Which we're going to talk about in a second. And the prizes are all the cosmetic and stuff that you can get on the prize wheel. They're only available on that wheel. And if you choose to buy an admission pass, then you can get the prizes.
Right.
So let's actually go over that. So tell us about the prize wheel.
So once you complete the map, you'll play the map and you'll beat all the challenges with the gesture boxes that's thrown at you. And then once you complete the map, you'll win a prize. It'll be on a wheel. It'll come up and spin. It'll go, "Oh, you've won this prize," and then once you win that prize, you won't get a duplicate.
Yeah.
One of the prizes will be like skins and costumes and a couple different things on the wheel. So once you complete and get all the prizes on the wheel, there'll be sort of a grand prize. So once you complete all the prizes on the wheel, you get the grand prize, and then you've won all the prizes.
Yeah. So these are going to be some of the cheaper costumes in the game because you kind of play them. You have to play the map in order to get them. There's a ton of other prizes on the wheel. We're not revealing those today.
Right.
We're going to be saving those for the reveal dev stream before the patch comes out. But they're super exciting. So it's like a really great deal, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everyone. So when the carnival comes in town, try to earn these things or the new things from them.
So yeah, when you use your admission pass, you'll go in, the wheel will spin, give you a prize, and then use your mission pass. But if you sneak in, the prize will spin, but you won't get the prize.
Charge QQ says that the best new thing added to the game is the Squire's refined muscles. They do look really good. I think they look like he looks like
he's
Mr.
been playing the
Armstrong.
strong
He's
just
only
like
been doing strongman.
Yeah. So then, in addition to there's other carnival stuff going on in the rest of the world. So tickets. Can you tell us about tickets?
So it's not just there's in the Heroes Marketplace. There's going to be another wheel that you can spend, but with tickets.
Yeah.
These tickets will drop from any map that you play. Maybe some ogres will drop a lot of them, or loot chests where they're coming out of. You'll get all these tickets together and spend a prize in the hub as well, or the Heroes Marketplace. Once you're in the Heroes Marketplace, you'll spin the wheel, get things like some buff or some.
We can actually take a look at the wheel.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So
So you'll run up to this guy. He'll let you spin his wheel.
His eyes are just adorable. They're like.
He'll let you spin his wheel, and you'll get cool little trinkets and things that you can consumables that you can use, like fireworks, and you'll be able to use them and show off fireworks and wherever you want, and even things like small little buffs like run faster or anything like that. So you'll be able to use it. When you use it, other people will get it. So it's a lot of fun.
And this is kind of like the two parts of the patch. So the premium wheel that's in the actual map itself, you have to pay gems in order to go in and get the cosmetics, like the the costumes and those kind of things. They're at a great deal compared to some of the other costumes. And then the gameplay part, which is that if you go around the world, you play Ruins, you play any of the other maps, you get tickets, and you can spend those tickets to get. There's other cosmetics on here. I think there's masks, like you said. There's like a rabbit mask.
You'll spin the wheel, get an item. When you use it, you'll get a mask on your character and run around with that. So
they're fun. Like temporary masks.
Yeah.
Cool. So there's like temporary masks. There's fireworks that you can place on the ground.
Yep.
And they'll shoot fireworks up. And there's also buffs.
Yep. So it'll spawn a little interactable object for you to place wherever you want. You go up to it, activate it, and you'll get a little buff.
Yep. So, and some of them are for the whole team, I think, as well.
Yeah, you'll be able to. I believe everybody will be able to interact with it.
So yeah, so just a lot of fun things, new things to do while you're playing the game. We wanted to put in a new loop, so even though the carnival's in town, it's like if you're playing, Ramparts, well now you find tickets when you kill ogres and stuff, and then you could go back to the carnival in the Heroes Marketplace and use those tickets to do other things. So,
it's a lot of
stuff. So guys, we're gonna take some questions on the carnival stuff. It's I think it's pretty exciting.
It's gonna be pretty fun.
Is the huntress cross-eyed looking up at her own hair? In this image, yes. Because this is like their T-pose, so they're like...
Yep, just referenced.
Yeah, just referenced. So they're not animated yet, they're not moving around. So yes, she is cross-eyed.
There was a question up there, does the squire have nipples or just muscles on top of his muscles?
Smaller muscles on top of his muscle.
I think it's like the small core muscle on top of the larger muscle. It's like if you get rid of it, then his strength reduces by like 50%.
Yeah.
But it does
muscles
a lot
on
of
his
the work.
muscles.
Yeah, it's muscles on muscles, definitely. Any new legendary items coming with the carnival?
I'm not sure of any new weapons or anything.
I don't think there's any new builds. So one of the really interesting ththings, and we're going to talk about this a bit when Elliot comes on, is that with most previous patches, all the patches in 2015, everyone kind of worked on a bunch. It took everyone in the studio, and they all worked on a bunch of stuff, and then they all released a bunch of stuff, all at the same time. And with this patch, it's actually really different, and it's that some people are. Steven's working on the carnival stuff. Some people are working on the carnival stuff that's getting released. But a lot of the other people that would normally work on legendary weapons, they're working on other things like the Abyss Lord or some other things we are going to show a little more later in the stream, which some of you have been asking. So because those things are all going simultaneously right now, this patch is going to have the carnival and the carnival related things, and then future patches are going to have all the other cool stuff that everyone's working on right now that we're going to show you in just a little bit. Oh, so we have people asking about the Abyss Lord. So the new hero we showed you guys is the Abyss Lord. When Elliot comes on, we're going to talk more about our plan for 2016 and show off some of that. We have a couple questions about a first-person game mode. So no, a first-person game mode is not planned for Dungeon Defenders 2. We are really focused on just kind of refining and making the best third-person experience that we can. So what do you think your favorite... Pick one favorite thing about the carnival.
One favorite thing? The roller coaster is really cool. But I think all of the cool things you can win off the prize wheel and the Heroes Marketplace is going to be really fun to see.
Yeah, I think so too.
Especially when you get a lot of people in there and they all shoot off their fireworks together. Or, don't worry about spawning yours, we can spawn mine. So
we have a question here from Wicker Nads who says, "Is the water gun rigged?" He wants to know, I'm going to read, I haven't read it all yet, so I'm going to read it out loud for the first time. He wants to know if the Carney made it so it's not as effective, so he can't win the awesome teddy bear, the Squire's teddy bear shield. But he got caught up in a rage of failing to shoot the water gun correctly because it was rigged, and she left me. Oh, his girlfriend left him because... So is the one in the game rigged?
It is rigged.
But for us.
But for us, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so on the opposite. So it'll deal a lot of damage to the enemies. So guys, we have a couple questions about customer support. If you have customer support issues, you can go to our website and there's a support link. You can click on it. Then one of us here will answer your support questions.
One thing we forgot to mention is this guy. Where is it? This guy right here. The Carnival Pass Taker, or the Admission Pass Taker.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about him yet.
That's as we mentioned, the goblins have taken over this carnival. So this is the guy who will be taking you'll get the admission passes from when you're playing the game. So you'll run up to this guy, get your admission pass, and go jump in the carnival.
And one of the fun things is we mentioned the Heroes Marketplace, and there's actually two versions of the Heroes Marketplace that we've developed internally.
Right.
So we have the one that started when you guys saw it for Influence Week, and it's kind of evolved, and we showed you last stream how that evolved. But also we have the Carnival version.
Right. So like I said, the Carnival is sort of rolled into the Heroes Marketplace and sort of set up shop where all this stuff you could see. as you see with the prize wheels taking over some spaces of the carnival, the Heroes Marketplace.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really interesting experiment. I think one of the themes of 2016 for us, as you're going to find out in a little bit, is just experimenting. So we want to try new things. So there's a bunch of things we're trying new in this carnival map. We're trying a map that you can access directly from the hub instead of going to the war table.
Right.
It's a map that if you want to, you can play normalized with friends, so you can all immediately get level 50s and just try out some of the cool stuff that you can do at level 50. It's a map that you can also play with your normal characters and your normal builds. It's a map that's more built around like fun and zaniness instead of challenge, so it's not like we're just throwing 100 ogres at you, although there are ogres. Actually, there are sometimes. But it's more like a fun type thing, and you guys are going to really see kind of when we play it next week what some of those fun, silly, zany things are.
Right.
And then it's also the prize wheel, so a different way of actually getting costumes and cosmetics as opposed to us, what we've done in previous patches, releasing like all the costumes as simply paid only.
Right.
We're releasing them as you can pay to spin the wheel in order to get them, and then there's this collection you can get it all. So it's really just an experiment. The carnival will come back to town after its town this time.
I have once the carnival will come in, we'll probably get a lot of feedback as to what you liked, what you didn't like, and then when the carnival comes back, we'll have a lot more new stuff for you guys.
And guys, remember we're approaching the half an hour mark here now. You can see on my watch.
Can you see?
Yeah, I don't know if they can. So when we do get to the half an hour mark, remember to type in hashtag DD2 for your chance to win 500 gems, which you will be able to use to win some of these awesome prizes on February 9th, which is the date that the carnival comes out.
Cool.
So let's see. So we have some questions here on eventually adding language options to the game. That's definitely a potential in the future. That's not something that we're working on right now. Right now we're working on all stuff that we're showing you today.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff that I think you guys are going to be really excited about in the second half of this broadcast. So we have a question about Hero Deck. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Hero Deck in the second part of the broadcast. We get this question every week. Are we going to let the Hero Deck make you be able to play with more than 4 heroes at a time? Right now, we're really focused on other aspects of the Hero Deck, but that's always a possibility, and it's something that we're actively considering and talking to you guys about.
Right.
The important thing is making the Hero Deck worth even being a Hero Deck in the first place, and that's kind of what we're focusing on first. So we have a lot of PS4 and PC questions we are going to talk about in this next part of this dev stream as well. There will be everything that's been on PC will be on PS4.
Yeah.
Some of it may come a little bit later, a little bit sooner, so you just kind of have to stay tuned for that. I know that there was a pet that was on the PC version of the game that some of you on PS4 didn't get, and we're just figuring out what it's in the build that we're working on now for PS4 that's going to be released in early February, and so we're kind of figuring out how to
resolve
how to get you guys that pet basically. And what's really, really exciting at PS4, we'll just jump ahead a little bit, is that it's going to catch up so quickly. So people on PC who got the game in December of 2015 and had to wait like 9 months for some of these patches, you guys, it came out a couple months ago, and this next patch, which is releasing in early February on PS4, is going to have 3 patches, which is 6, 12, 18 weeks worth of work.
3 in 1 patches.
Yeah.
The math into 1.
Yeah, so it's just a lot. We're going to be catching up the PS4 really quickly. We're, like we told you guys before, we're working with Human Head to develop the PS4 version. We're bringing it in-house. It's actually mostly brought in-house now, and by the beginning of February, it'll be entirely brought in-house.
Right.
And then we'll have the 2 versions synced up. And then when we do these dev streams, we're like, guys, look at the Carnival. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. We're like, guess what? All coming out at the same time, which I think is going to be really exciting. Is kind of it's really exciting for us. Exciting for me.
So. And then Butters can play on the PS4.
Ooh, boy.
Oh man, can you play better or worse on the PS4 controller?
It's going to be worse.
Worse? Oh
worse.
Man.
I do like the controller a lot better. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you'll have to practice. All right, let's see. Are we getting the male and female counterparts of the characters, the original 4 characters from DD1? So that's definitely something that we're always thinking about. It's constantly things you guys bring up in the chat are constantly brought up in meetings here. I think the discussion point internally on that right now is basically, do we want to make, if we were to do something like that, do we want to make them just straight new heroes with lots of new stuff?
Right.
Do we want to do it just the way DD1 did, where they're heroes that were alternate gendered and just had different abilities. So there's definitely like a lot of back and forth about how we want to execute that when we do that. But we are working on our first new hero, the Abyss Lord, which we are going to talk about in just a moment when Elliot comes on the screen.
As soon as I leave. I'm not leaving yet. That's right. Everybody wants me out.
So the PS4 and the PC inventory are obviously different because of the controller versus keyboard and mouse. So some people have said the PS4 inventory is better. Some people have said the PC inventory is better. So we're actively working on planning for the future on how they're both going to be kind of combined and the same type of thing. So there's stuff that we'll be doing. It's definitely not a focus of us right now. Would an employee of Trendy be willing to come on an unofficial DD2 podcast? I think we certainly were. If you just talk to Josh Isom, he can schedule and get someone on it. Oh man, all these questions about new heroes. Everyone's super excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Have you played with him yet?
I have not.
You haven't?
I haven't looked at him a whole lot. I've been making a map, so.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you, Steven. Guys, if you want to check out the Dragonfall Carnival, it's going to be available February 9th. See you, dude.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. So they get this fancy transition.
That's
It's
awesome.
our first transition ever in the history of the Dungeon Defenders Devstream.
We replaced level designer with an older level designer, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
right.
guys, you haven't met him yet, but this is Elliot Cannon.
Hey,
He's our creative
how's it going?
director.
Yeah.
Get some clapping going on at
Woohoo.
home, maybe. So cool. So we're going to talk about 2016. So first, can you introduce
That's this
yourself
year,
to
right?
everyone?
Okay, all right.
That was last year.
Oh, where's my notes?
You're like, damn it, I got the wrong year. I don't know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
absolutely. Lots of awesome, cool stuff happening this year.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to start?
With yourself.
Oh, okay, cool. Gosh, I used to be an architect, and I'm from Florida, and it's great to be back in Florida. And I've been in the game industry for a long time. Been doing a bunch of stuff. Tons of fun games like Unreal Tournament. I used to be a hardcore level designer. People still play Deck 16 to this day, which is something I built like in 2 hours years and years ago. I had a really cool honor to go to Europe and work on Crysis, the whole Crysis franchise, and where I was a creative director on Crysis Warhead. Done some children's games for Lemmy Snicket movie, things like that. I got a chance to work on Doom. I really got a chance to work on Killing Floor 1 and 2, which is super fun, another Steam game, and a bunch of shooters. And gosh, I'm a hardcore gamer too, not just a developer. I'm like a big kid at heart, as you can probably tell. My whole household is just gamers, and we just love this stuff. And so it's really awesome to be here with you guys. It's totally cool.
So one of the stories that you kind of told us internally that I'd like you to tell everyone is about how you got into Unreal.
Oh,
How
gosh,
they chose
yeah.
You, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that was very funny. You know, I was running a small little architectural firm and doing custom houses for people in Florida and beach houses and all that neat stuff. And I love Doom. I love playing Doom. And I made maps for Doom. And I was playing on the CompuServe Modem to Modem Games forum. And in fact, a lot of people in the industry were playing on that forum back in those days. We were like 30 or something, right? And I built tons of maps, and when I had hooked up with a bunch of people, and then Epic Games was looking for level designers. And there really weren't level designers back then. Yeah. I mean, Quake hadn't come out. And so we're like, hey, I built tons of single-player levels. And because when you do stuff in architecture, the lighting and the environment, it's kind of natural, you know? Mm-hmm. And being a little kid who was the neighborhood dungeon master, making games, making gameplay was something cool for me. So, yeah, my first break in industry actually was because I made maps that were really popular to people, and hooked up with Epic, and we did Unreal together. I did tons of deathmatch maps as well and single-player stuff. And that's my whole career has just been about making the games fun for people who play them. So that's where I come from.
Chris Ash says Dungeon Defenders 2 Doom Edition.
Yeah, it's not going first person, I can tell you that. No, the game is too awesome. Yeah, the game's too. I heard you say that earlier. It's pretty funny. No, DD2 is really, really, really cool, and it's awesome to be involved in what we're going to do going forward. It's going to be really fun.
So I think on that note, let's transition to
sure.
If you can tell them maybe your history with Trendy and
we hooked up. We hooked up last year. My wife.
Cool. All right, guys. So we've basically determined that Elliot was simply talking too fast.
I talk too
for
fast.
The internet.
It's obvious.
And Twitch broke, but it is back, and he will be talking slower.
I will talk slower. Sorry about that, internet.
So quick recap: Dungeon Defenders 2. Why and how?
Oh gosh, like I said, this game has so much charm, so much character, and you guys in early access really put together something really, really cool. Great, awesome foundation, and then this year we're going to build up on top of that, make it even better for people playing the game.
We have a comment in the chat about if we forgot to pay our electric bill. How funny would that be if just the whole studio shut off during it.
That's not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. Okay,
Hilarious.
cool. So, guys, we have so much exciting stuff to show you for the rest of the stream, so thank you for sticking around. This is really about 2016, which is this year. So, our big focus are on heroes and tower defense.
Yeah,
Can you
absolutely.
talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, well, one of our biggest goals is like the game's got this awesome foundation, got a bunch of cool maps, some experiments with build passes, all this kind of stuff. What's the next level? Let's start adding and expanding that hero library. So you have a lot more options, ways you can play when you're trying to win and defeat the enemies, and ways we can adjust that to make it more fun. Mm-hmm. So it's a way to expand the game and make it larger and have you more options. I mean, we have lots of cool costumes. You can be different. You can be an individual, but you want to have the game kind of grow and get better and bigger over time, where like the way you play is different from how I play, and it's your game and my game, as opposed to being now we're in a spot where everything's kind of come together and it's kind of fixed. Like there's like one right solution to play Nightmare 1, 2, 3, and 4. We want to kind of expand that so you have more ways to play it and do it your way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and I think we're going to show a quick snippet of some of the heroes, but can you talk a little bit about like how you came to Trendy and how is this determined that, we're going to make new heroes?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, one of the coolest things is you guys, when you were doing your MOBA, you were designing and creating all these really awesome heroes. I mean, the strength of the art team here is just amazing. The character and the quality of the world design and the level design, pretty much unsurpassed. And all the character design is brilliant, but a lot of the really awesome characters are concealed from everyone else. Mm-hmm. No one gets to see any other characters, the occasional new NPC, all this kind of stuff. Those things are gameplay opportunities. I was like, look at these characters made before. Let's use them as inspiration and build them to fit the game so we can expand how you play the game. Maybe some new roles, ways you can do it. We've learned from how the game is played for last year. Let's take it to 11. And who doesn't want to have cool new heroes to play? It's not just the same old thing over and over and over, So we want to expand the game, refine what we have, and make it, build it up, make it bigger. Bigger deck of cards to work with, I guess you could say, right?
So with this, we get introduced to everyone the Abyss Lord.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Really exciting. So if you want to share maybe some of the inspiration and thoughts behind this.
At the very beginning when I was taking an audit of what do we have here, what's everyone want to do, what's some of the cool content you guys made, didn't get a chance to put together and release last year because you did so much. I mean, if you go back and look at that post from earlier this week, there's tons of stuff that was done in 1 year. The AAA studios would like run out of breath in the first week trying to catch up with you. It's just amazing. So one of the things was the Summoner, the old Summoner character from DD1. And that thing we said, this guy's really cool, but he does different things with the camera, but the way he moves is really cool. And he has an opportunity, let's put a little more ominous, evil, diabolical character in the game. With the ensemble cast you have right now, they're pretty charming. They're kind of, we always say, delightfully entertaining. Well, if we start to put a little evil twist in there, add someone who's kind of a tougher character in there, and have him do different things, but not really break the existing chemistry, but add to it in a new way. So the inspiration for him loosely was we loved how the Summoner just moved. And then we said, well, if he summons things, summons new towers, how can we make that different than what you have right now? Does he, we don't want him just to replace the Huntress or replace the Apprentice. We want to have him be a new mix of the whole formula. So this is just you got a video here streaming in the background of kind of what he looks like idling.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till you see him moving around and doing stuff because he's really, really cool. He's a cool character.
Yeah, so we're going to be showing you guys a lot more of the Abyss Lord in the future. Do you want to talk a little bit about just the inspiration for kind of some of his towers and abilities and how that might be different
Sure.
from some of the other heroes we've put out?
Surely out there somewhere in Etheria, there's a link to the Abyss. And who's down there controlling everything? So the whole idea behind this character is that this is a guy who can control things summoned from another place, an evil place, the Abyss. And he uses these things for his own means, whether he's used for abilities, use them for towers. And so his ability to summon things, kind of leaning a little bit off the original Summoner, but not so verbatim. We don't want to just verbatim copy the guy. We want to do something interesting and new. So the Summoner summons a lot of things or towers that look like what you might expect to come from some place like that. And so he's very kind of diabolical and evil in theme, but he's tons of fun, and he fits perfectly with the whole tower defense gameplay. Because he's a tower defense character. He's not just some DPS only kind of guy. He can do all kinds of different things. The real key to this character, I think, is that you can play him in different ways. Like, he's not pigeonholed into just, well, this is the only way to play him, and you need to have this gear, he's not viable. We want to take him and expand him out more. So when we're designing him and we're playing him in a prototyping right now, we want to make sure that he has a diversity. So if you want to play him one way, it works. If you want to play him another way, it works too. So it's more about how you play him, and the gear just amplifies that choice for you rather than just being the only choice.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm super excited. We almost prepared.
Did I mention that he's evil looking? All right.
You did. Yeah. We almost prepared some video for you guys today, But we got this instead, and we're going to really, as we start to reveal him, I think you guys are going to be super excited, so we can't wait to show you more.
We'll show more later, yeah.
So we have one question that Insanely Blue has asked over and over and over again this stream, and this is, so we're planning to release new heroes, but are we going to do anything to the UI for hero organization?
Yeah.
He already has 21 characters, and he has to click the button through the menu, and it's chaos.
Yeah, I mean, when bringing a console game to merge with a PC game, there's some UI things you got to do to make it work and flow together. But that's an opportunity to do something that's even cooler. And if we're going to expand the hero library, we've got to give you a way to manipulate it and control it and make it fun. So that's the whole key to you hear us talking about the hero deck and stuff. Not in the same context as you maybe heard in the past, but we want to streamline and clean that up so when you're playing, you can swap them out, have better control over what characters you're doing, when and where. It's really to make it easier for you to play so you have more options. And we start building that library up over time. That'll be one fun thing to do is swapping out how you want to do it. So.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of different improvements to kind of how to manage heroes and use them.
Yeah, definitely.
Come along with
check them out.
heroes.
Check out guys you don't even own yet. And like, hey, this guy looks cool. What's he all about? Learn about that hero. What does he do? Maybe even try him out. There's all kinds of things we're talking about.
Yeah, so it's going to be really cool. It's going to be exploration with all you guys, and I think we're going to learn a lot and really expand the game, which is going to be cool.
Yeah, the key right now is just make him fun. We're building him and playing him and let him tell us what's fun in the game and how he mixed the existing chemistry. So that's really cool.
Deance, can't say his name very well, says that it'd be really cool if he had some kind of funny interaction with the monk, because the monk has a purging evil.
They'll just one-shot the monk
stat.
and get it over with. They'll just call his name like in EverQuest 1 and guy instantly die on the spot, right? No, but that's a really good idea. I think that's something in the future we need to always be thinking about is what can we do with synergy between different heroes that's not just all selfish and all contained for one hero doing his own thing, where you get a monk together with this other character, where it's an interesting composition happening. I'm totally into that. I think that's a really cool thing to do.
So, off of the Abyss Lord for a minute and onto PS4 and PC. So we're going to talk a little bit about 2016. We're going to be synced up by the time that the Abyss Lord releases. We'll be on the same update on PS4 and PC. You want to tell everyone a little about that?
Oh, I mean, that's just the way to do it. I mean, having the PS4 kind of like a history lesson way back in the past, bring that up together, it's going to also help the game kind of get a little smoother how you move around through it, because the interfacing on a console, we all know, is different than on PC. So we don't want to turn it into a console game. We want it to work perfectly for both of the environments. So that's something we're doing internally right now, and I think once you do that, and then we make new content, we're getting out to different kinds of people at the same time, and we're thinking about it a little bit differently as a bigger thing.
So we have a lot of questions going back to the Abyss Lord about how he's going to be released. So guys, we're going to be making some announcements in the future once we've worked out all the details for new
More
heroes.
launch type stuff. Yeah, we'll
exactly.
launch him properly.
We'll come out, we'll tell them the dev stream, we'll have a big blog post about all the details. We don't want to have speculation. We don't want to
We're over teasing. That's what we're doing.
We're over teasing.
That's because we're excited like little kids.
We are going to tease a little bit before, continue to show you stuff from the Abyss Lord before we release all the details of his release and stuff. So just stay tuned. It's something that we're actively talking about in the studio and figuring out now.
Yeah, we'll do it right. We'll do it right.
Yep. So with that, we're going to go on to questions. So guys, remember every week you can go onto the forums. You can ask us questions. You can ask questions in the chat too.
I made notes already.
But we try to answer all these forum questions today. I don't think we're going to get to all of them, but let's see.
Let's cherry pick some really hard ones or cool ones. What do you want to do?
So number one, are builds going to be the only viable option for Endgame? Will all balance be based around?
We actually want to move away from that. I mean, I think it's a neat thing that happened this last year when building the game and making build weapons and doing stuff, but it started kind of turning like this is the only really way to play by yourself, or the only really way to play in a group. And when you get matchmake a certain way and someone doesn't have something, they're having to refarm gear, all that stuff's kind of like a little on the not as fun side, but it was a cool learning experience. Like, how do those builds, how can they change how the game plays? Going forward, we want to have something that has more freedom for how you play, but the gear amplifies that more. So instead of being like the gear is the only solution, we want you to, I want to play this squire this way. I have multiple ways to play him, and the gear amplifies that decision as opposed to the gear telling me what the decision should be. So we want to go towards that philosophy. It'll take a while. It'll take a little while to get there, and that's why these loot changes we did last year to kind of unify and break things into two different themes and get rid of some of the junky stuff that was happening. That was like the first step to get things cleaner. So as we start building heroes, things will be cleaner and make more sense, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna play him this way, I'm gonna play him that way. That for me, like I said, I'm a kid at heart, and it's really about you playing the game and how you want to play it. That's really more important. There will always obviously evolve with any cool game, people that
Yeah.
have figured out the super ultimate way to play it their own way. And we want to that opportunities to do that too. We don't want to make it all generic, you know. There's still going to be little hidden ways to play in gear and stuff that'll be awesome that people will chase after.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
And I think that's probably going to be music to a lot of people's ears. So the next question is, do you plan on revamping the unique weapons to be on par with other build weapons?
Not by itself. No, we're not sitting down and going, let's just go back and revamp
Yeah.
these weapons just to solve this one problem right now. We want to actually do a lot of cool things with gear and skill spheres, everything else, to really serve the idea that the whole library of heroes is going to expand. And we have a lot of stuff that you guys did in the past that was really cool, you know, type of weapons. And we don't want to keep going back and, you know, renovating that over and over and over. What we really want to do is how the gear kind of graduate up into a new level.
So here's a fun question for you. We're going to skip around a bit. So
All right.
what was the thought process on food for pet XP as opposed to in DD1 where you could just dump currency into them and level them up?
I don't know. What was the thought process? I was involved in that one. You know, and the thing about pets, that's an opportunity to talk about it. You know, one of the things when you first start working somewhere, if you really know what you're doing, the first thing you do is go poke around the attic and find everything. And when you already play the game, I've already been playing the game for a while, and the amount of pets that are in the game is awesome. I mean, there's so much cool character. There's actually cool power in there too, and it's really kind of concealed and buried down underneath the system that has some interesting ideas with food and loyalty and all this kind of stuff. And I think it's kind of a little too concealed from players. I think there's elements in there we should go back and try to get those pets into your hands quicker and faster, where you're more like, hey, I want that guy, I'm going to work towards him and get him, and then try him out for a while and go to another one, because there's a big library of these pets. And so I don't really want to go to a particular detail of the problem right now and just fix that. What we'd like to do as a group is how to make pets more fun and get them in your hands.
Yeah.
So when you get new heroes and you got lots of pets to get access to, that's what having a fun game is all about, really. It's like give you all the cool stuff you need to do, find your own magic chessboard formula that's perfect for you. So that's kind of my philosophy on that, rather than like the particular answer to the particular question, which was, you know, I think that was decided earlier in the year to do that XP switch that's different from DD1.
And I think that's going to be really informative to everyone. And we have a question here from QualXD, which is kind of a follow-up to the first one I asked. But then I'll just answer really quick. The question is, you know, are we going to make it possible to build other towers in the end of the game besides just traps and frost towers because of the builds? I think your answer really alliterates that, yeah, we are focused on how to do that, basically. And it may not be with more builds.
We're still a tower defense game. I don't want to break that. I know you're some shooter guy. People think I'm the shooter guy, right? I've done lots of shooters. I've done lots of other stuff, too. I'm a big MMO PvP player. I play lots of stuff, including DD, too. And it's like, we want to keep, there's an element to tower defense that's super fun, the whole planning and figuring out where to put things, the tactical aspect of the game. And there's this really awesome moment-to-moment element that happens in the game. And also there's like, oh crap, kind of respond to emergency situations. All three of those things need to be there always for every hero that we design. And so we definitely want to push that more.
So the next question is, when can we expect trading?
Oh, I definitely want to put that in the game. I don't know when. I can't promise it when, but I'd love to put trading in the game as soon as we can. That way, if you have things we're giving you, or you're winning things, or you're buying things on currency, or whatever you're doing, even the carnival. Gosh, if we had trading right now, you could win stuff in the carnival and trade some of the consumables that give you power to some of your friends and stuff. I mean, in the long term, a game that has trading is really fun. And I think, you know, early access, like I said before, y'all did like 3 years worth of work in 1 year. I mean, some of the places I worked, like at Crytek, they couldn't even keep up with that kind of pace. And I think that's one of the things y'all did so much stuff so quickly that year that's something you couldn't put in. But I think trading is definitely something we want to put in.
And then finally, and actually if you want to replay for them, John, the video of the Abyss Lord really quick, we have some questions about heroes. So this one is, you know, when we add new heroes in the game, are they already going to come with a number of builds and special weapons? Or are we going to add that later? Are we going to do something different?
Yeah, there's a couple ways we're thinking about doing it because, you know, we want it to be about fun and having the character right away. One of the things we've been talking about is creating when you pick the hero up and you start playing and he has a custom campaign you play, almost like the DK in a World of Warcraft, to tell you the truth. Just drawing some inspiration from that so we can tell a story, where does he come from, have particular maps he plays, and then we may, as part of that process, we may have some starter set, we may start him at a higher level. We haven't got the answer just yet, but those are the kinds of things. We want fun to drive that answer, not labor. You know what I mean? We want to laboriously start with a naked guy at level 1. Doesn't sound like fun. So you know, we may figure out the right way to do it that seems to make sense for the way gamers want to play it, the way I would like to play it too. You know, so I mean, that's what we'll probably do it. We don't have that exact answer just yet, but it's something like that. We want it to be like about fun and playing the new character and getting on with it, not getting all bogged down with like, oh gosh, I spend 2 weeks gearing this guy up and all that kind of stuff.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So now this is lightning round.
Oh
So
gosh,
we're gonna ask,
these are the scary ones. Yes,
these
no
are the
only,
ones we're
right?
gonna really
Yes,
quickly.
no, only.
I do like
only-
beer. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm just
Do
joking.
you like beer?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you considering doing anything with spheres or Ubers?
Yes.
Will there?
But I
be-
can't elaborate because you know I like to talk, right? But go ahead.
Will there be a new tier of rare items soon?
Soon. I'm going to say no, but I bet you can probably tell from my facial expression, the small little screen, that
Yeah.
this could be something very cool that Gary will do. It's much cooler.
Will you ever make a passive ability sheet for heroes allowing further customization?
The whole idea of tinkering the character, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not that answer in particular.
Will the barricade?
I'm using more than one word, aren't I?
It's okay. They're short.
It's
Will
okay.
Will the barricade ever become a real thing?
Only if we can get Seth MacFarlane to do the voice, because I know that there's a whole Screen Actors Guild thing with that. I think that'd be awesome. You gotta love Ted, right? So,
Are there plans to bring back any of the pets from DD1?
not at the moment, no.
Can we get a butter pet?
Yes.
Attacker throw butter from his butter.
As long as he's low cholesterol and destroys the devil out of everything, I think that sounds like a good idea.
Only a low cholesterol butter pet. I think.
Well, that's a charming thing. Anything like that is fun. Who's against anything fun?
Will there,
Hashtag butter pet.
There you go. That should be the new T-shirt.
will there be a legendary creeper pet soon?
Like I said before, we're going to do something cool with pets. So I don't think that in particular is a goal really in the short term. So you would say no is the answer, but there's cooler magic hidden behind the scenes.
Will we see old maps or DLC maps from the first game return in some form?
No, but you'll see new maps that will blow you away. I've already looked at some of them today. So
Can any of the old bosses come back, maybe helping us instead of fighting us?
I'm a big fan of drawing inspiration and evolving as opposed to like just rehashing and verbatim taking. I mean, anytime you do a homage, it's like that Deck 16 map in Unreal Tournament. My goodness, if people rebuilt it even in Minecraft. Maybe a homage to something would be cool, but right now we're thinking like new.
And then finally, can I get a shout out for my sister's birthday?
Absolutely.
Shadow Danny 18.
Do it, or you want to do it, or I'll do it.
You do it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not cool enough. Happy birthday, Shadow Danny 18, right? From Dungeon Defenders 2 and Trendy Entertainment and the whole development team.
Sweet. And with that, thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, we don't have a Devstream next week. Tune in after this Devstream to watch the Social Tavern. Where some of our biggest fans, the caster skills, are going to talk about everything we discussed today. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing the reveal stream for the Carnival. And then
That'll be
it's
awesome.
going to come out February 9th. So
Yeah,
guys,
really soon.
Get ready for the Dragonfall Carnival.
Cool.
See you all soon.
Nice meeting everyone. We'll see you real soon.